Sergio Perez's 2024 season was more than just a struggle. It was a turning point in his Formula One career. Red Bull's iron grip on the championship began to falter, and Perez faced his most grueling campaign yet. As the cracks widened, the whispers of change grew louder. Meanwhile, Cadillac, armed with General Motors' might, is preparing a seismic entry into Formula One, and Perez finds himself in their crosshairs as the perfect driver to lead the charge. Let us be clear, Perez didn't just step away quietly. Instead, he crafted an exit that has left the F1 paddock buzzing. Announcing his departure with a calculated mix of timing and flair, the Mexican driver has set the stage for an unexpected new chapter. Was this move a calculated act of revenge against Red Bull, or a strategic pivot to secure his legacy? As the Red Bull dust begins to settle, one thing is certain: Sergio Perez has no intention of fading into the background. For Perez, the crossroads couldn't be more daunting. On one hand, he had the option to stay with Red Bull under the contract extension he signed in May, though it would mean stepping into an ambassadorial role. On the other, there was the choice to walk away entirely. After intense negotiations, marked by a delayed announcement that underscored the tension on both sides, the decision was made to part ways completely. After Perez officially announced his exit on Wednesday, a move that wasn't entirely surprising given the immense pressure he faced throughout a disastrous 2024 campaign. At 34, Perez endured what was arguably his toughest season, finishing a dismal 8th in the drivers' standings, an eye-watering 285 points adrift of his teammate and reigning champion, Max Verstappen. While he managed to secure 4 podium finishes in the opening 5 races, his performance nosedived spectacularly, collecting a mere 49 points over the subsequent 18 Grands Prix. Perez's slump in form proved costly for Red Bull, ultimately robbing them of the Constructors' Championship. The team ended up third, trailing McLaren, the eventual champions, by 77 points, with Ferrari securing second place. To make matters worse, former F1 driver Juan Pablo Montoya claimed that Perez's season might have cost Red Bull a staggering £23 million, factoring in crash damages and the missed Constructors' title. It was a bitter pill for a team used to dominating the grid. The writing on the wall was clear, and Perez seemed to accept his fate, opting to step away from Red Bull for the 2025 season. His departure paved the way for young talent Liam Lawson to step into his seat, signalling a fresh start for the team. Behind the scenes, the frustration was palpable. Sources have told ESPN that several senior engineers privately vented to Horner after Perez qualified 19th at the British Grand Prix, a race eventually won by Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes after McLaren had locked out the front row. Most puzzling of all for Red Bull was that any changes made behind the scenes, whether it was to processes or setups, did not seem to work. Even a brief change in race engineer after the summer break, prompted by Hugh Bird going on parental leave, did not kickstart anything for the driver of the number 11 car. Reflecting on the turbulent season, Horner told ESPN, "It's been a culmination of things. Checo started the season so strongly with 4 podiums in the first 5 races. It felt like he'd picked up right where he left off last year. But from Monte Carlo onward, it's been an incredibly tough year for him. We've tried everything to support him, but ultimately, he's come to the conclusion that now is the right time to step away from Formula One and take a bit of time out." Perez briefly felt some vindication after the break, when teammate Max Verstappen started to complain about Red Bull's car, just as he had been doing. By then, the RB20's wayward handling was so extreme that even the quadruple world champion could not drive around it. Historically, Red Bull has been known to relegate struggling drivers to their junior outfit, now branded as Racing Bulls. However, team principal Christian Horner made it clear that such a move wasn't on the cards for Perez. With his wealth of experience, a demotion simply didn't align with Red Bull's strategy. Instead, Perez finds himself at a crossroads, his F1 career uncertain and his next steps in the sport shrouded in mystery. Sergio Perez is one of 5 drivers bidding farewell to a full-time Formula One seat in 2025, though some will remain involved in the sport in different capacities. Franco Colapinto, for instance, is expected to step into a reserve driver role at Williams, while Valtteri Bottas is making a nostalgic return to Mercedes. The Finn will serve as a reserve driver behind George Russell and rising star Andrea Kimi Antonelli, bringing a wealth of experience from his 5-year stint with the Silver Arrows between 2017 and 2021. Bottas's move isn't just about lending his expertise. Journalist Matt Koch suggests it's also a strategic play to keep his foot in the door for 2026. The Finn has reportedly already initiated discussions with Cadillac about a potential seat when they debut in Formula One. Interestingly, Matt Koch speculates that Perez, not Bottas, Bottas could ultimately land at Cadillac in 2026. Addressing Bottas's new role at Mercedes, Koch remarked, "It makes a lot of sense. George Russell has some experience, but he's not a proven championship contender and hasn't been through that grind. You've got Kimi Antonelli, a promising young driver, and then Valtteri Bottas, an experienced hand who knows the team inside out. If needed, he can step in seamlessly and deliver. He ticks a lot of boxes." Koch also dismissed the likelihood of Mercedes relying on younger prospects like Frederick Vesti or other less established talents, emphasizing Bottas's unique qualifications for the role. This setup ensures Mercedes has a balanced mix of youth, experience, and reliability within its ranks, an ideal formula for a team aiming to reclaim championship glory. And it also keeps Valtteri's foot in the door for a potential move to Cadillac or something similar in the future. However, I suspect it might actually be Sergio who ends up there instead. Sergio Perez's father, Antonio Perez Garibay, has emphatically stated that his son's Formula One career is far from over. He believes that Sergio's extensive experience and significant commercial appeal, particularly in North America, make him an attractive candidate for teams like Cadillac. With Cadillac's impending entry into F1 in 2026, securing a driver of Perez's caliber could be a strategic move to bolster their debut season. Cadillac has made it clear that securing an American driver for their 2026 Formula One debut is a top priority, particularly following Logan Sargent's exit, which left the US without representation on the grid. Among the names being discussed, Colton Herta has emerged as a leading contender. Known for his remarkable success in IndyCar and his strong ties to Andretti Autosport, Herta would bring undeniable star power and a significant boost to Cadillac's efforts to capture the American market. However, a significant roadblock looms. Herta currently falls short of the super license points required to compete in Formula One. Overcoming this obstacle will require strategic planning, potentially through additional racing commitments or lobbying efforts with the FIA. While Herta's potential inclusion grabs headlines, Cadillac isn't putting all its eggs in one basket. The team is casting a wide net and considering a mix of seasoned Formula One drivers to anchor their lineup. A part of Checo, the possible candidates are Valtteri Bottas, driver with a proven track record and an enviable wealth of experience; Kevin Magnussen, known for his gritty performances and resilience in midfield battles; and Zhou Guanyu, a rising star whose adaptability and technical feedback have impressed during his time with Sauber. All three are expected to be free agents by 2026, giving Cadillac a strong pool of talent to choose from. Regarding Yuki Tsunoda, Haas team principal Günther Steiner has observed that the Japanese driver seems more focused on securing a position with Red Bull. However, after Liam Lawson was chosen over him for the second seat alongside Max Verstappen, Tsunoda has indicated a willingness to explore other opportunities to advance his career, potentially bringing Cadillac back into consideration. The pieces of the puzzle are beginning to fall into place, but the full picture remains tantalizingly out of reach. One thing, however, is clear: Cadillac isn't here to merely participate. They're gearing up to make a seismic impact on the sport. As the landscape of Formula One continues to evolve, the countdown to 2026 promises no shortage of drama, speculation, and high-stakes decisions. So, who will lead Cadillac into their bold new era? Let us know in the comments. Until next time, goodbye for now.